Hello, my name is Lauren Williams, and welcome to my bookcase. I'm a certified professional organizer, and my company is Casual Uncluttering. I've been in business for 10 years, and I've read a lot of books about organizing, and I'd like to share my opinions with you. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with the first step. Lao Tzu. One small step can change your life. The Kaizen Way by Dr. Robert Maurer. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Maurer is Dr. Maurer's interpretation of the Japanese concept and technique of Kaizen, which is a way of approaching processes in which you break down the process into its smallest possible steps so that you can master those tiny little steps, that one little bit of activity, of project. Master it, build on it to master something harder, and eventually the task that's been overwhelming you is so easy, so natural to you, it can become habit. I tried this technique to help my son learn how to put on his socks. Why he couldn't put on socks, that's not necessarily relevant. But if I understood Kaizen properly, what I was trying with my son was to just take those socks that he did not like, did not want to use, did not want on his feet. And for a little while, I was just dangling them at him. Look at them, they're socks, they're just socks. Isn't this silly? Come on, what's the matter with putting on a sock? And eventually I would get him to giggle, and he'd admit that, yeah, socks aren't maybe such a big deal. And then it was, hey, well, you don't think socks are such a big deal. Come on, try touching a sock. You can touch a sock. Come on, here it is. Look, it's just a piece of cloth. It's a fabric. Touch a sock. And eventually he giggled, and he was touching a sock. And then it was, okay, well, you're touching a sock. You can hold it yourself now, can't you? Come on, hold that sock. Here you go. Touch the sock, hold the sock. And eventually he giggled, and he was holding a sock. And on and on and on over the course of, I don't remember how long, how many days, but he was eventually putting on his own socks. I've used a very silly example, a very even trivial maybe example, but Dr. Maurer says and demonstrates that this technique, properly used, properly honored, can be something that people can internalize to develop better exercising habits, better diet habits, better ways of interacting with colleagues and friends and family. Anything, essentially, that you want to approach, which you are finding daunting, which you are finding frightening, you can adapt to using these techniques. And it's not something that Dr. Maurer is just saying, oh, well, it sounds like it works, so I'm going to say that it works. There's really good science behind these techniques. There is very convincing data, as people who are much smarter than I am study brain activity, study the results of controlled analyses of having people do this for some kind of work versus watching other people who aren't given this guidance try to do the same kind of work. That this technique is something that we as humans thrive with. We are suited for it. So if you're struggling with adopting habits, if you're struggling with trying to reshape some of your patterns, take a look at this book. And I understand that there are others out on the market for it, and I haven't looked at those as well. This one I've known of for a very, very, very long time, so I'm confident in recommending it. This book and many others are foundations for my webinars. If you enjoyed my book review, you'll enjoy the webinars too. Thank you.